Dear learners, welcome to this online course on electricity and safety measures. I am Dr. Rakhi Sharma from School of Engineering and Technology, Indira Gandhi National Open University. Learners, in today's session, we are going to discuss about the electrical safety at the work site. So in our first session, in previous session, we discussed about the electrical safety at the work site. In the first part of this, we briefly discussed about the safety instructions involved with working at various voltages, electrical equipment such as operation of switches and isolators, and we briefly discussed the safety instructions required for working on cables, testing of mains and apparatus, then working at heights, and we also discussed working on high voltage apparatus and overhead lines, and the lower portion of the towers which is carrying lines. So what kind of safety instructions or safety precautions should be taken in these cases? We have already discussed these in our previous session. So now we are going to discuss some more safety instructions at electrical work sites. So what are these? So learners, first we discuss about the learning objective of this session. So after studying this module and going through this session, you should be able to learn about safety instructions or precautions involved in working on deadlines and equipment, then working on switching operations, then the safety instructions which are involved in working in substations, transformers, circuit breakers, then metal clad switchgear and control panel. Then the safety instructions involved in the working outdoor structures like the bus bars, capacitors, lightning arresters. So this we will be able to know about all this, and also we will learn the safety precautions involved for the storage batteries and portable lamps and appliances. So we will learn and we will know and briefly discuss about these safety aspects which are related with the work side. So let us discuss with working on deadlines and equipment. So this will be discussed with two parts, that grounding of lines and equipment, then line work on poles and towers. Grounding of lines and equipment. So before doing any work on deadlines or equipment where there is a possibility of their becoming energized from any source, so such line or equipment should be short circuited and grounded between the location of work and all possible sources of energy for safe work. Then conductors to be grounded and should be checked for potential by an approved method before the ground is installed. Temporary grounding cables should be flexible stranded copper and should be of proper size and should be equipped with approved clamps at each end. And grounding cable should be inspected before each use. And when grounding lines or equipment, connection to the ground should be made first, and that to the circuit or equipment last, because this will provide the safe work environment, because first you are doing ground connections and then other circuit equipment connections. So in removing grounds, first remove the connection to the circuit or apparatus and then remove the ground connection, just opposite, just to be in safe side. So first connections are removed and then ground connection. Then insulated hot sticks should be used in making the ground connection to the circuit or apparatus. Ground should be placed on all phases, even if work is to be carried out on one phase only. For work on the line, ground should be placed at nearest tower on each side of the point of work. But In no case should earth be more than 6 spans apart. So as an additional safety measures, if possible, in addition to the above grounds, line should also be grounded on the tower where the work is to be carried out. So learners, when the work is to be carried out on lines of all insulated construction and grounding point is not provided at point of work, then temporary ground should be connected at point of work to an efficient portable earth stake driven into the ground. So the line should also be grounded at the nearest line grounding point on either side of a point of work for making the safe work environment. So where 2 or more crews are working independently on the same line or equipment, each crew should properly protect themselves by placing their own temporary grounds. Now let us see that line work on poles and towers. So before climbing on any elevated structure, every employee should first assure himself that the structure is strong enough to sustain his weight safely. If poles or cross arms are apparently unsafe because of decay, or there may be the unbalanced tension of the wires on them, so they should be properly braced or guide before they are climbed. You know what is the meaning of guide? This is just to make the support vertical or pole vertical. These guy wires are used, so which give it in the vertical position. So these support should be provided if there is any unbalanced tension of wire is there, someone observe. Then linemen should wear their safety lines while working on poles and towers, as I have shown in the figure here. Wire hooks should not be attached to linemen's belts. In other figure, so safety straps should not be placed above the top cross arm when it is at the top of the pole. Then working on lines under adverse weather condition. So remember, in the event of the approach of lightning or thunderstorm, all work on overhead lines should cease immediately. Then working on now let us discuss the safety precautions or safety instructions while working on switching operations. So every message relating to the switching operations on the high voltage system should wherever practicable be written down. Remember this thing, it is very serious matter. So every such message should be repeated in full to the sender to ensure that the safety message has been accurately received. Then a record of high voltage switching will be entered in station log. All breakers and isolators should bear lettering or signboards to indicate the circuit they control. So when releasing the electric circuits, breaker or equipment for work on them, the associated breaker and disconnecting switches should be operated in certain manner order. So what are these? The breaker will be opened first. The isolator will be opened, but before operating the isolator, it should be made sure that the breaker is open. That means first the circuit breaker is operated and then isolator only. Because you know about this operation, that circuit breaker, this may after the fault clearing, it may again it may close. But isolator, when you operate the isolator, that means you are completely isolating the circuit. So always remember, when first the circuit breaker is operated, then isolator. or after opening isolators and air brake switches, check carefully to see that all blades are in full open position. So when lines and the circuits are taken out of service, the breaker control circuit should be opened either by operating the opening device or by removing the circuit fuses. If the circuit is controlled by automatic reclosing breaker, the reclosing mechanism should be made inoperative. And before removing fuses, switches should be opened if provided. And removing fuses from inductive circuit carrying current without opening the switch is hazardous. Now let us discuss about working in substations. What safety instructions or precautions are required while working in the substations? So safety tags should be placed on all enclosures of high voltage equipment, and whenever necessary, warn persons of the presence of high voltage equipment. The safety audits should be conducted from time to time. Gates in switchyard, fences and doors to switchgear and other enclosures containing live equipment or other hazards, it should be kept logged at all the times, except when the authorized person has entered for working inside. When carrying ladders, pipes or conduits, reinforced rods and other long material into the stations, switchyards, switchgears, rooms and other places where there is a danger of touching the live parts, the material should be held by two men, one at each end, and carrying in the hands, not on the shoulder. That means it should be in the horizontal position so that it should not touch any live part or live equipment or live lines. So when working in the vicinity of the circuit breaker or the buses, every precaution should be used. Avoid injury from arcing, because they are prone to give arcing, circuit breakers and in the buses. So here one should not be in the vicinity of these. So the area where personnel are working on high tension equipment, it should be guarded off wherever possible. So let us discuss working on a transformer. So learners, this is a very important part, and all the safety precautions and the safety instructions should be followed while working on the transformer. So when work is to be carried out on the transformer, both low and high tension breakers and isolators should be opened. That means first the transformer is being isolated by using the breakers and isolators in open position. And similarly, during isolation of transformers to which potential transformers are connected, such potential transformers should be isolated. Yes, with the transformer there may be the potential transformer through which this is the instrument transformer which measure the voltages, and accordingly it can operate the relays and the circuit breakers. So this potential transformer should also be isolated. Before starting any work on the transformer installation, it is important to check carefully for backfeed or abnormal voltages and other dangerous conditions, unusual circuit conditions. It may exist which require special consideration. So whenever transformers are replaced, the new transformer should be checked carefully for voltage, polarity and the phase sequence before taking into the service. Area should always be cordoned off, and safety tagging should be done prior to starting the job on the transformer. Now, working on instrument transformers, what kind of safety precautions and safety instructions are required for this? Learners, we have discussed about the instrument transformers in detail and how these are connected in any circuit for measuring the current and voltages, current transformer and the potential transformer. You know that the current transformer is the primary of the current transformer is connected in series with the circuit, and then we have discussed about the potential transformers also. So the case of all instrument transformers, it should be grounded when we are working on the instrument transformer. So the secondary coils of the current transformer should never be open circuited when current is flowing in the primary side. So remember this thing. If it is kept open, there the EMF may induced, so which is very dangerous. So generally the secondary of transformer should be kept short circuit or burdened, but it never be open circuited when the current is flowing in the primary side. So the secondary circuit of a current transformer should be connected to ground at all times, because we are working on that. So there should not be any energized part. So in that case, the current transformer the secondary should be connected to the ground at all times when the transformer is in service. The secondary coils of potential transformer should never be shortened. Remember this thing. The low voltage winding of a potential transformer should always have one side permanently and effectively grounded. This secondary coils of the potential transformer should never be shortened, because it may cause the high current through it. Now let us discuss the working on pole mounted substations. Pole mounted substation means distribution transformer, which is mounted over the pole or on the pole. So these precautions should be observed in case of carrying out the work on the pole mounted substations, that is the distribution transformers. Now what are these? The work should be carried out under the permit to work, as in all cases, in all working on all electrical equipment. So before changing or replenishing oil or painting, all exposed live parts of transformers should be disconnected. So while working on poles that have lightning arresters installed on them, the workman should avoid touching lightning arresters and lightning arresters jumper. Now let us discuss working on filtering of transformer oil. So when carrying out the work of filtering the oil in transformers, the care should be exercised that all exposed live conductors are suitably barricaded, so that no person, no apparatus such as the flexible hose, etc., or that is being handled comes in contact with the live parts. All such work should be carried out under the direct supervision of an authorized person. Now let us discuss about the working on circuit breakers. What safety instructions or what safety precautions should be taken while working on the circuit breaker? For isolation purpose, it should be ensured that disconnecting switches on sides, control switches, relay trip blocking switches and compartments doors are open. Mechanical blocking wherever necessary to prevent unauthorized movement of the mechanism is installed. In all circuit breakers, trip-free features should be blocked. Now working on metal clad switch gear and control panel, what safety precautions are required? So while working on manually operated panel mounted circuit breakers, when the operating handle is on front and the circuit breaker is on the rear of the switch gear or another panel, a danger notice should be placed on the handle. Here we are working on the metal clad switch gear. So when the work is to be carried out on the bus bars spouts, some operations should be carried out. So what are these operations? So the section of bus bars on which the work is to be carried out should be made dead and should be isolated from all points of supply. So, and the isolating arrangements and the shutters of live spouts should be logged so that they cannot be operated. The bars should be earthed with approved earthing equipment at panel other than at which the work is to be done, and isolated section of the bus bars. So learners, now we discuss about the working on outdoor structures. While working on the outdoor structures, some safety precautions and the instructions are required. So these outdoor structures may be the bus bars, these may be the lightning arresters, these may be the capacitors. So let us discuss about the bus bars. So in isolating the point of work from supply, care should be taken to disconnect right points in case of sectionalized and mesh scheme of bus bars. You know about the various bus bars, classification of bus bars I have already discussed in my previous sessions. So here special care should be taken to disconnect right points in case of different schemes of the bus bars. So isolators, switches, closing on the section of the bus bars on which the work is to be carried out should be logged in open position, and the closing mechanism rendered inoperative. So while working on the outdoor structure at height more than the 3 meter, 3 meter from the ground level, the safety equipment such as the safety belt, handling, etc., these should be used. No person should stand directly below the place of the work when the work is in progress in the outdoor structure to avoid any tools or bolts or nuts or clamps falling on their heads. The helmet should be invariably used while working on the outdoor structures, both by the person stationed at the ground and those on the structure. Now the safety required for the capacitors. So every capacitor should be treated as hot until proved otherwise. That means that it should be treated as energized. So capacitors store energy, you know this, and are not necessarily dead when disconnected from the line, because they may have stored some charges even you have removed it, disconnected from the line. Once charged, a capacitor may retain its charge for several hours after it has been disconnected. You know this thing. So when a capacitor is to be worked on, the first open all cutouts or disconnecting devices to the capacitor. Then wait for at least 5 minutes for internal resistors to reduce the voltage. Next, using the hot stick. You know about the hot stick. The hot stick is also called as a discharge rod. So using the hot stick, short circuit and ground all terminals of the capacitors. Then these terminals should remain short circuited and grounded while work is being done on the capacitor to make it very safe. To bring the capacitor bank back into the service, the first remove the jumpers with the help of hot sticks, and then close the cutouts. Now working on the lightning arresters. No work should be done on lightning arresters unless it is disconnected from the line circuit and grounded at both the lines and ground terminals. Now let us discuss about the working on storage battery. What safety instructions or what safety precautions should be taken while working on the storage batteries? This is very important. When making electrolyte for storage batteries always pour acid into the water. So the reverse method may cause explosion. Remember this thing. The suitable goggles or face shields should always be worn when making electrolytes. Ensuring the uses of personal protection equipment by staff is the responsibility of shift officer. Smoking and the use of matches or other open flames are not permitted in battery rooms or while inspecting, filling, testing or handling batteries. Now let us discuss about working on portable lamps and appliances. What safety precautions are associated with this? Ensure that all the portable appliances are provided with 3-pin plug and sockets connections, and the metalwork of the apparatus is effectively earthed. Always use portable hand lamps of the insulated safety type and provided with the rubber, plastic or wooden handles and wire guard. Do not use a lamp in a metal holder fixed to the end of a loose flexible wire as a portable hand lamp. Remember this thing. Do not disconnect a plug pulling the flexible cable or when the switch is on. Do not plug in any portable lamp or apparatus before making sure that switch is off and that the wall plug is properly inserted in the socket. So far we have explained to you the various safety procedures that have been strictly followed while working with the electrical mains and apparatus. You may like to review these procedures in real life situations also. So learners, now let me summarize this session. First, before summarizing this, I am just recalling that in our first session, you have been acquainted with the safety instructions involved in working with various voltages, electrical equipment such as operation of the switches, isolators, working on the cables, the instruction associated with the testing of mains and apparatus, now working at heights, working at high voltage apparatus and the overhead lines, and the working on lower portion of the towers which is carrying lines. You have been briefed about all these all the safety instructions associated with when you work on site with these equipment and conditions. Now in this session we have briefly discussed about the safety instructions which are involved in working on deadlines and equipment, working on switching operations. Then the instructions associated with the working in substations, transformers and circuit breakers. That instructions with required for the metal clad switch gear and control panel. The working outdoor structures like the bus bars, capacitors, lightning arresters, storage batteries, portable lamp and appliances. So we all have we discussed all these safety instructions which are involved with all equipment and structures. So learners, in our next session we will discuss about the accident prevention and the protection. Till then, happy learning and thank you.